to work on an arm guillotine, we're going to go over the finish, and then we're going to do some transitions so when your training partner defends, right? So starting in a front headlock, I'm going to go open front headlock. The hand that's around the bicep, I'm going to pull his elbow towards my foot here. All right, it's going to make it harder for him to build up. And then the chin strap grip, what I'm going to look to do is pull his chin in the opposite direction of his elbow. Then what I do is I take a step with my outside leg, I slide my knee towards the outside leg, and I take a step again. I shelve his arm onto my hip. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lock up our guillotine. The guillotine grip that we're going to do is a pretzel grip. Instead of going thumb facing up towards the ceiling, we're going to rotate our thumb down. So we corkscrew our hand down here, and I grip with the second hand. My head is on his near shoulder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my knee in and switch my head to the far shoulder here. Shin goes across to the far hip, and then I put my foot onto the opposite hip, and then we'll talk about finishes in a couple of minutes. All right, so we'll just work the setup for now. So again, so we've an open hand front headlock. We're going to pull his elbow towards our foot here. We pull the chin in the opposite direction, and I'm taking a step. Every time I take a step, I bring my knee to meet my foot. I shelve his arm onto my hip. The hand that's the choking hand, we're going thumb down towards the floor, and we lock this up. All right, take a second step. I bring my knee in towards his hip, and I bring my head from the near side to the far side. When I sit back, what I want to do is I want to pull Stu on top of me. What I don't want to do is I don't want to fall back and lose the connection with my head on his shoulder. All right, so if you kind of see the second scenario, when I'm here, I keep the head connected, and I pull Stu on top of me here, and then this allows us to get a tighter finish, which we'll talk about in a couple of minutes. All right. The choking hand, this pinky is facing down towards the floor. I'm going to rotate so the pinky goes up, and then this hand I'm like looking to nearly like go wrist to wrist. Then I lock up my hands. So kind of it's wrist to wrist, but I'm also kind of connecting some of my palms of my hands together as well. All right, this gives you kind of like a tighter finish. So chin strap, pull the elbow in the direction we want. We're sliding. My head's on the near side. I'm going to slide my knee in again to close space. You see the space between my hips and Stu's hip. So I slide the knee in. Once this happens, I pull Stu on top. I don't lose the connection with my head, and I fall to the right hand side to get my shin into position. If I need to hip escape to get more onto my side, I will. All right, I'm going to throw the leg over to the far hip. The finish here is basically going to be, I'm going to do like an upright row. So I'm going to pull my hands up to my chin. Now there's a detail, it's a small detail that makes a big difference. With my lat and my rib cage, what we do is I'm going to turn my elbow inwards. When I do this, this puts a kink in his windpipe and makes him do a chin tuck. So if you can see this movement here, it's a small movement. So again, so we're here. I'm going to do an upright row, so I pull the hands up towards my chin, and if you kind of watch, say what my right elbow is doing, my lat is kind of like pushing on the back of his head to get a tight finish. You feel the difference on it. So you're here with the grip that we spoke about. We're up using an upright row kind of motion to get rid of space, and this lat is connected to his head. So what we do is we turn our right elbow down towards our hip to close that space. So we'll just do it one last time, nice and easy, so you can kind of see the movement. So again, don't sit back and lose the connection with your head, because he'll be able to free his own head. So what we do is we pull him on top, and then we bring our head to the far side. Here, if we have to adjust with a hip escape, we will. I'm going to do an upright row motion, and then I connect the lat to the back of the head. And my right elbow, sorry Stu, my right elbow goes to my right hip.
Trying to hold on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you don't even need the lat, the kind of the lat pressure, but let's give it a go. So 3, 2, 1. Really important detail, when you're finishing the guillotine, your chin is on your training partner's back, and his chin is connected to his chest, so you're making him kind of do a chin tuck. So don't lose the connection, because what happens a lot of the time is when we went to like live rounds and stuff like that, people get excited to jump on a guillotine and then they fall back. Don't fall back. Think about pulling your training partner on top of you and keeping as much of the connection as you can. So with a guillotine choke, it's compression. So I'm trying to get all my weight on the right hand side. I'm connecting, say, to the bottom artery, so that's the left artery. When I put my lat over towards my right hand side, you can see I'm compressing his neck here. So that's really important, right? The beauty about an arming guillotine is if your training partner either tries to do a heartbreak roll or jumps over to side control, you have a lot more control compared to a regular no arm guillotine. So what I mean by this is, like, say, if he does manage to jump to side control, so if he jumps over to this side here, we'll go back again. He'll end up tapping you with shoulder pressure. Sorry, I'm trying to talk at the same time, but he did like perfect technique. He put the shoulder into the start. But if he does jump with this grip, with the kind of pretzel grip, I'm going to threaten the choke, right? I might not tap him, but with the pressure of the choke, I'm going to force this shoulder to the mat. So I'm going to get him flat. So we do the same thing against you. So if you go for it. So if you try to come up on top, you look on my right elbow. Sorry, I'm trying to pressure this.
He's getting me back now.
I'll either get the tap, alright, like we just did there, or for him to relieve the pressure, he's going to put his own shoulder on the mat. Here, if this happens, what I do is I tripod, so I'm coming up onto my head, shoulder, and my foot, and I step over into the mount. We can go into a mounted guillotine, or just for today, we're just going to release the guillotine and take mount. Alright, so that was actually a good example because I'm actually like putting on a lot of pressure and I'm creating a situation where if he comes up into me, shoulders off the mat, I can get the tap, or we do it from the other side. Yeah, or go flat. So again, let's say we're here, Stu does the right thing. If I stay here, so if you go for a Stu, like he's going to free his head and then like I'm going to lose the position. But if we go back, the details that I want you to think about is, if you just look at my right elbow for now, when he jumps, I'm going 12 to 6 with my elbow. So my right elbow is going high and my left elbow is going low. So just look at my elbow position. So if you go for a Stu here, I'm looking to force this shoulder on the floor. So I won't go tight on it now, right? So if Stu tries to come up, if you go Stu, I'm applying as much pressure as I can with that top elbow. So my right leg is going to scissor over my left leg. I build into this tripod position with the focus of putting his shoulder on the floor. Once this happens, we walk towards him, step into the mount, finish the mounted guillotine, or release it and take the mount. All right, so let's give that a shot. So 3, 2, 1. Same idea on this one, but just a different way coming up on top. So if we just do this here, it's Stu, right? So let's say we're in our arm in guillotine. Stu's going to jump across to the same side. Same details. We're going to force the choke, or put pressure on the choke, I should say, to force him to his back. Because if he's up on his side, it's obviously going to be better for Stu. We're just going to do a different way of getting back up on top position. So again, Stu's here. He jumps over to the far side. I force the shoulder onto the floor. Sometimes you feel that like he's like arching into you, he's bridging into you. You just find that you're just not able to come up on top. Or maybe he's kind of like walking his legs away from you, or just like, I just can't get anywhere near him. So there's a detail here, it's really important. We're gonna unlock the choke. My left hand is an overhook. So this hand is, you can see it here. I'm basically just gonna like say wrap over his arm, and I keep weight on top of his forearm. So can I spin you around maybe here, Stu's probably better. So I'm gonna keep weight on top of Stu's forearm, and I have this kind of guillotine grip here. When I unlock it, what I'm basically gonna do is I'm just gonna like pull up with the overhook here. If Stu tries to come up on top, he can't without freeing his arm, all right? So if I just move out of the way and I let Stu build up, you watch when he builds up, if you go back down for a second, Stu, sorry. If you watch the way Stu comes up, he brings his elbow in under his shoulder and he comes up on top. Usually he's gonna punch an underhook and then win that race. So knowing that, this is the battle that we're trying to win. So we landed into this position with the guillotine, so I'm going to keep the weight on Stu's arm and I wrap up an overhook here. So if Stu tries to come up, if you go for Stu, it's pretty hard, alright? So he needs to pull his elbow back, so if you really try it, it's like not impossible to free his elbow, but it's very hard for him to come up on top unless he frees his elbow. So what I do is, when I unlock the hands, I pull up. Then I slide my arm in front of his face. If Stu tries to come up now, I walk away, scissor, I punch my own underhook, and then we come up on top and win that race every time. So basically what we're doing is we're not relying on speed, we're keep weight on his elbow so he can't build up on the elbow and make it a lot slower for him to get up. So again, so we're here, keep the weight with your lat and your hip on his forearm, pull up on the overhook. Once you get kind of good connection on it, all you're going to do is just bring your bicep in front of his face. Here, you can see the way I'm kind of like doing like a reverse shrimp, where I kind of move my hips away, I punch my underhook, scissor my legs, and then we come up into side control. So we'll just do that real speed or the full sequence. Alright, so again, so Stu jumps over, forcing him to the mat, pulling up with the overhook, punching the hand in front, scissor, come up on top. Alright, so 3, 2, 1.